All right. I am joined now by Kaya Sand, Executive Director of Street Roots. Kaya, we know you're so busy. Everybody is right now, but I really appreciate your time. I just read through again your editorial board's piece from March announcing for the first time ever, Street Roots was going to suspend printing physical copies of the paper. It's months later now. We wanted to catch up and see how you all have been doing and what kind of impact that's had. So how have things been?
Yeah, thank you, Maggie. It's been an extraordinary time of transformation and hustle. So we immediately had to figure out how to make sure we're still getting income to folks, because usually they'd be earning income selling the paper. So we started, because of vendor leadership, extraordinary leadership, we started an action team to do a number of things, to do outreach to other unhoused people. First, just getting accurate information about COVID-19 out, then getting supplies out. Then vendors started running the office, because we had to make sure to get people their mail. We had to make sure that people had access to certain really, life-sustaining things. And then vendors started signing people up for the $1,200 stimulus checks. We got over 200 people signed up for that. So that's like $240,000 into the pockets of unhoused people. So it's just been a hustle on the vendor end. I mean, it's just extraordinary leadership. It's been a hustle as an organization, because we've had to raise money constantly and still need to just get money directly to unhoused people in this new model.
You were able to continue. I just want to make sure, like that's extraordinary, getting vendors income, even though they aren't able to do their normal routine of standing on street corners and selling the papers.
Yeah, I mean, when we think about, so we've given out assistance too on a regular basis. We've paid stipends, we've given emergency money, probably about $150,000 we've gotten out that way. And then, with the additional money from the stimulus checks, I mean, we're getting close to $400,000 that we've just managed to get out to unhoused people, both Street Roots vendors and other unhoused people.
How is the paper doing financially?
I would say that we really need the largesse of the community. So please do support Street Roots, both to be able to run our paper and to get money directly to unhoused people. We are preparing to go back on the streets. We're doing this as so many other organizations in a really thoughtful, intentional way. Our vendors are having a lot of input on what it is that'll help them feel safe and healthy. We're going to relaunch actually with a color magazine as our first issue, as a chronicle of these times since we shut down, really thinking about unhoused people in COVID-19 and in this kind of really transformative historic moment.
When might that relaunch happen?
We're looking at late July, early August. We've been really following the governor's phases carefully, watching for phase 2. We're really in constant communication with the health department.
I'm going to bring in Mike D now. Mike, you are the outreach director and coordinator. You're also a vendor. I mean, just your take on what this suspension of printing the physical copies has meant for the vendors who, I mean, we've seen around Portland for so long.
It's been pretty hectic. Because a lot of us are used to making a pretty decent daily amount of money, and today, and right now, of course, we can't do that because, the governor's kind of put a halt on the hand-to-hand sales of the paper, because if you're doing hand-to-hand sales, chances are the spike's going to go up. I know for me, I was selling up at PSU. I was raking in anywhere between $60 and $100 a day. And
where are you now?
I make $200 a week. So yeah, it's pretty big cut, but I'm grateful for what I get, at the same time, because I could be one of these people that are out here that aren't getting anything. But I mean, what we've been doing, those, like, I have someone usually serving coffee. I'll have someone doing social distancing outside, making sure people are 6 feet apart. And then I have another person working the door, making sure not too many people are getting in the door. It's kind of like a security type deal, but not quite security, because we don't need that word being thrown around here, because it seems too policing to certain people.
What's it been like just to have downtown be such a ghost town for a while?
Well, since the riots have been going, it hasn't been such a ghost town, but it's different. It's kind of an eerie feeling, walking through during the daytime, and there's maybe 10 people in a whole 3-block radius. You're like, this isn't Portland. This isn't what I'm used to seeing. But then at night, then everybody wants to come out and do all the protesting, and then lately it's been turning back to riots. And then you got the police out there that are tear gassing and throwing those the percussion grenades, the flashbangs, and they're landing next to people's tents. I mean, it's scary for them.
Well, any final thoughts from the two of you just about like what, this challenge that we're all facing together has in some ways divided us, and in some ways shown us how vulnerable we all are. I mean, just your thought on, the resource that you both provide. Street Roots has covered our housing crisis for so long, and it's so valuable. Just your take on the role that you're playing now as we all try to grapple with what this means for everybody, housed or unhoused.
I mean, I've been so moved by, how Mike was talking about how you recognize people's talents and their skills and finds where they might pitch in. We have seen so much of that, where as long as we're able to be nimble enough that we can recognize the kinds of skills and expertise unhoused people bring to our larger community. And you talk about people that have creativity and resilience. It's folks who are living on our streets. So I do hope that we can continue to really find ways as a larger society to recognize that and lift that up.
All right, Mike, anything else you want to add?
Yeah, I'm not seeing so much of a division right now. I'm seeing more people that are that are housed working with the community of the houseless lately. So it's not so much of a division that I'm seeing. Because even the guy next door, we were having some issues with the man, and it's cleared up a lot. Like, the man's actually been quite what's the word? Like, he's showing some compassion towards people. We'll put it that way. Like, lately, and in fact, he's been thanking everybody for being out there lately, because they've been keeping people from smashing out windows and stuff. They've been trying to keep them from protesting right there. They're like, no, take that somewhere else. We don't need that where all these small businesses are. Take it up the blocks away. And the man's like, thank you, because a lot of small businesses have been affected by the protests and everything else, and he's seeing what's going on, and so he's actually been really working with us lately, which kind of shocked me, because when this all happened, we had quite a few back and forth words with the man. So like I said, I see it bringing certain communities more together than it is tearing them apart. Yeah, it's like I said, it's interesting times we live in.
And Maggie,
that's nice to hear. I mean, you're admittedly talking to a jaded reporter who's knee deep in the mask debate and like election cycle style rhetoric. So that's,
people wear
I don't
their
get
masks.
a lot of that. That was a nice anecdote.
People wear their masks at Street Roots, wouldn't you say, Mike? Like, everyone just is like trying to be healthy.
Right.
Really interesting.
Yeah.
I wanted to just say one more thing, I think, too, just in terms of the uprisings in this moment, and how it really does connect to the work that we're doing every day, because, you know, I find that exciting that we might be able to make more transformative change in terms of our racist structures in our society. And the work that we're doing is connected to that totally, right? In terms of people being dispossessed of their wealth and ending up on the streets. Both African Americans and Native Portlanders are way overrepresented in terms of people who are unhoused. So this, to us, like the fact people are out on the streets making sure that we don't let up, is incredibly hopeful.
Great. All right, guys, Mike, Kaya, thank you so much. We really, you know, it's great to hear that Street Roots has plans to launch the physical copies again, and we just appreciate the update on Street Roots in general. So thank you both.
Thank you, Maggie. Really appreciate it.